details tonight after a man who pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting children killed himself minutes before he was set to be sentenced.
KXI 12's Gracie Savage has been covering the story all day and joins us in the studio tonight. Gracie, how many victims in all were involved in these crimes?
Jeff and Caroline, one preteen victim bravely came forward more than a decade ago, telling a friend and then a school counselor that Terry Austin Tucker was sexually abusing her. Later, a second victim came forward and Tucker was charged with 10 counts of child sexual abuse. But just a few days ago, 3 more people came forward with similar stories of abuse. And today they traveled to Sherman to see Tucker's sentencing. But instead, the case concluded with Tucker's suicide.
His desire to do anything he could to avoid going to Texas Department of Criminal Justice for the rest of his life. Not terribly surprising that he would do anything he could to avoid that.
66-year-old Terry Austin Tucker shot himself at his attorney's office Monday afternoon just before he was scheduled to be sentenced for child sexual abuse. The case spanned more than a decade, beginning with 2 young girls, according to District Attorney John Kermit Hill. Over time, more victims came forward. Hill says that includes Tucker's wife, Angela, who several years ago was wanted for failing to report the abuse. But just last week, Hill says she came to his office and shared her own story of abuse throughout their marriage.
I can't tell you how many there could have been. In the sit-down that we had with Mrs. Tucker, there was numerous sexual events that he engaged with various women.
Some victims traveled a long way to testify against Tucker.
One of the young ladies came from out of state. We also had one of these extraneous victims come in from a bus from far west Texas.
But before the hearing began, they learned Tucker had taken his own life. Assistant DA Clayton says the shocking news provided a measure of relief.
One of the young ladies looked at me and she said, "It's not how I expected it to happen, but it's over." And there's beauty in that.
Clayton says Tucker delayed his sentencing for years because of illness, while his victims patiently waited for justice.
Their hopes get up that this is going to be taken care of, and then all of a sudden it doesn't go to trial. And that's very difficult for victims to go through that sense of excitement.
The sentencing today had heightened security because of threats Tucker had made.
Mr. Tucker intended to have gunfire in the courtroom or at the courthouse.
After Tucker took his life, the victims had one last request for Clayton.
One of our victims, as well as by the widow, to go and have confirmation that he had killed himself. And I went and did that with Mr. Hill and one of our investigators.
The district attorney's office says they're thankful Tucker didn't hurt anyone else today. Live in studio, Gracie Savage, KXI 12.